Statements made during this broadcast regarding products or the claims made about specific products have not been evaluated by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. Products and treatments discussed are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent disease. Make your physician aware of all nutritional supplements used and immediately notify your physician if you have any health concern or undiagnosed sign or symptom. Let's Talk Nutrition is a health talk show that features scientists, authors, nutrition specialists, personal trainers, holistic healers, and experts in traditional, natural, and integrative medicine. Listen for a chance to win daily prizes and follow Let's Talk Nutrition on Facebook and Instagram at Let's Talk Nutrition or on Twitter at LTN Radio. It's time for some inspiration. Tune in to get fit and healthy. It's time to talk about nutrition. Nutrition for your body, your mind, your spirit. It's time to talk about proper exercise, stress relief, eating well, and supplementation to help. Get ready to take charge of your health because your health is your wealth and the wealth of those who care about and love you. It's time for Let's Talk Nutrition with Dr. Michael Garko. Welcome to the show.
And welcome to Let's Talk Nutrition. Thanks for tuning in to LTN 2020, and I hope you're having a good day wherever and however you may be listening or watching the show, and whatever you may be doing. I give you a programming note. Tomorrow, Dr. Michael Grutadouia will be on the show. Dr. Grutadouia is a functional medicine doctor, practices functional nutrition. You want to tune into that show. I am quite familiar with Dr. Mike, as he's called. Pronounce his last name takes a lot of time. Grutadouia. I can pronounce it because around my house, that's the way we talk, given my mother was an Italian immigrant. So, but Dr. Mike will be on tomorrow, and we'll have him for the entire show. And I think you will find him to be, how can I put it, very effective. He's got a lot of clinical experience, and you will benefit greatly. And you're able to call the show as always. And today we have another effective, experienced physician on the show, and Dr. Cass Ingram. I got a lot of feedback the last time he was on the show because it was good feedback. I was able to keep him an extra hour, and because we didn't have a guest in that second hour, I had something prepared, but I let that go because I wanted Dr. Cass to be on, and people really appreciated. I got like at least 3 or 4 emails saying that was good, that they enjoyed that, had more time to listen to what he had to say. They take notes. He and I suffer from the same. Dr. Ingram and I suffer from the same communication affliction, and that is we talk too fast. I get that all the time. Dr. Garko, you got to slow down. You got to slow down. I know. Dr. Ingram is very well experienced, I must tell you. And he has always a point of view, no doubt. Whether you agree with that point of view or not, I can tell you, in terms of his chemistry, in terms of how he puts things together, I always check his work, and he's always on point. My training, I can evaluate guests. I get guests come on here, they say stuff, and I'm thinking, where did you get that? Not with Dr. Ingham. When he talks to you about these micro organisms and how they behave, and the chemistry and mechanisms of action, I have yet, in all this time, find him to make a mistake. Dr. Ingham, welcome back to Let's Talk Nutrition. It's great to have you on.
Yeah, it's great to be here, and I'm finishing this expanded edition of COVID-19 field, and whether it's flu, cold, COVID, or sort of hospitalized infection, drug-resistant, whatever the category, Lyme disease, there is a plethora of natural medicines that have efficacy against these pathogens, and for some reason they're mostly minor. You'd think MRSA would be impossible. You'd think that COVID and flu would be completely impossible. Just let it run its course, or I've not found that to be the case. There is one really tough pathogen, and that's the Lyme spirochete by the nature of
Yeah, you've talked about that in the past. You said that critter is problematic.
extremely problematic. It seems to have been perhaps a biological agent. When Plum Island was 8 miles from Lyme in Old Lyme, Connecticut during the outbreak, and they were actually doing research on ticks, infecting them with pathogens. Nobody will release the truth on this, but USDA documents from the 70s show that they purposely released the tick. And then, within weeks or months, we have a pandemic or an outbreak. But anyway, it's a spirochete, right? So that is a corkscrew pathogen, similar to the syphilis
Mhm.
germ. And it just
Yes.
drives itself into deep tissues like the deep connective tissues, the spine, the central nervous system, the brain, and the spinal cord, deep joint surfaces, deeply into the muscles and skin. It's just a tough one to eradicate. A lot of times, doctors will put people on antibiotics for 2 just to try to maintain a semblance of survival. So, I mean, that's a real pandemic. That's a chronic, indolent, destructive disease that can't can't handle it easy. Uh, in contrast, we found this COVID. Now, I know you can't supposed to not make claims, and I know this is radio, but I am an author, and I can tell you what I found, and it was kind of a whim.
Explain what you mean.
Well, the nurses study that was done on 50 nurses on the front lines. Obviously, they're getting sick people, so they're getting a little bit infection. Some of them got the constant dry cough, the scratchy throat, and many of them were diagnosed positive, and most of them just got the beginning of the sickness. So there were 2 studies: the ones that were diagnosed positive and the ones that were just on the front lines. All they did, and they had a scratchy throat, or they had a bit of a fever beginning, or a bit of sore throat, or a bit of a dry cough, they just took this spray of, listen to this, clove bud oil, lavender oil, wild lavender, wild bay leaf oil, and wild oregano oil, and they just misted it on the back of their throat. I mean, and they got rid of their symptoms, and none of them tested positive, and none of them ended up with double pneumonia. They sprayed this all over their PPE, their bodies, and their hair. They rubbed it on their skin. Some of them used a very aggressive substance, the oil of wild oregano. Others added in the oregano hydrosol, which is a pretty mild tasting uh, extract from steam distillation. It's the condensation of the wild oregano. So the fact that these spice oils would have completely prevented these 50 nurses, I wrote this up, from contracting the frontline disease that we know as COVID-19. The fact that the 20 people we studied that got the sickness, many of them testing positive, none of them ended up dying, and all of them started to recover right away with a natural medicine. I mean, you hear about hydroxychloroquine and zinc getting some results, especially the zinc. What if what if you just told everybody juice 5 garlic cloves and drink it every hour? You know they'd get better. I mean, who wouldn't? You'd have to get better just to quit drinking this stuff. Your mind would force you to get. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. New York built for $53 million a hospital, and they didn't even use it. How incompetent is that? Somebody got some
Well,
slush money out of
you
that.
know, this is what happens, and you know this very well. And um, people probably ask that same question: why is it that people or systems or uh, these medical systems are so ideological? It's not only allopathic medicine. In the world of naturopathic medicine, they can get pretty
Mm.
ideological too. And I've always been a great believer that you find whatever you can and you integrate it with other. I mean, you'll usually, as you know, Dr. Ingram, a disease is caused by more than one thing. When a person gets sick,
Yes.
it's usually more than one thing. So you probably need, I hear your protocols. It's always more than one thing that you have in the protocol. And I think that's how I've been trained to look for integrative strategies. What is your take on that? Well, we're
Well,
almost
I
out of
think that's
time in this
fine.
block.
It,
We,
it's fine
when
if
we
it's
come back,
medically
when we
indicated.
come back, I want to get your take on that point of view. This is very important because it drives how you're going to approach a problem, how you're going to resolve it, and what kind of results you may get. Dr. Cass Ingram is a featured guest today on Let's Talk Nutrition in this first hour. LTN, coast to coast and globally.
Ladies and gentlemen, listen up. It's me, your immune system. I'm always hard at work defending you against the many disease-causing viruses and bacteria that you are exposed to every day. But sometimes I need help to defeat the bad bugs. Luckily, our friends at Kyolic have come to the rescue. Kyolic has two super immune-enhancing supplements, Kyolic Immune Formula 103 and Kyo Green Harvest Blend Immune Defense. Kyo Green Harvest Blend is a power-packed blend of organic and naturally sourced grasses, ancient grains, fruits, veggies, herbal extracts, and spirulina in a fast-dissolving drink mix for a quick and easy way to support immunity. Kyolic Immune Formula 103 combines immune-boosting nutrients with aged garlic extract. Aged garlic extract has been clinically shown to support a healthy immune response and reduce both the duration and severity of cold and flu symptoms. Help me protect you with Kyolic supplements and nutritional drink mixes to fortify your immune health today. Available at fine natural health retailers.
Celsius is a fitness drink which is clinically proven to function. How? As a thermogenic, Celsius proprietary MetaPlus blend accelerates metabolism, increasing your body's ability to burn fat and calories. There are only two ways a body burns fat, through increased heart rate and our increased body temperature, thermogenesis. Drinking Celsius and then going into motion is double dipping. You're accelerating the burn and the results are even faster. Celsius is your ultimate fitness partner. No high fructose corn syrup, no aspartame, no preservatives, no artificial colors or flavors. 100% of 7 essential vitamins. Proven in 6 published university studies. How does it work? Celsius proprietary MetaPlus formula, including green tea with EGCS, ginger, and guarana seed, turns on thermogenesis, a process that boosts your body's metabolic rate. Drinking Celsius prior to fitness activities is proven to energize, accelerate metabolism, burn body fat and calories. Invest in yourself. Drink Celsius. Look for us at www.celsius.com.
This is Dr. Michael Garko, host of Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. You can get more information about the show on my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com. This is Dr. Michael Garko, host of Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. You can get more information about the show on my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com. This is Dr. Michael Garko, and you're listening to Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. If you want to find out more about the show, visit my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com.
Let's Talk Nutrition is brought to you by American Biotech Labs, your daily immune system support. Celsius, live fit. CV Sciences, from seed to shelf. New Chapter, the benefit of nature's wisdom. Jarrow Formulas, superior nutrition and formulation. Let's Talk Nutrition on the web at letstalknutrition.com. We're back from the break, so let's rejoin Dr. Michael Garko.
Welcome back. Welcome to Let's Talk Nutrition, featuring the inimitable Dr. Cass Ingram on the show today. I've listened to Dr. Ingram for a number of years now. He's been a guest on my show. And the pattern, my job is to listen. It really, truly is. And I listen carefully. And the pattern that I notice in how he approaches issues, health issues, I've never heard him say, just do this one thing and everything will be fine. Usually it's a combination of compounds to address some issue. Now, sometimes a disease, we can identify it's a single cause. You get infected by a tick, all right, we understand that. Or coronavirus, I understand that. But even with coronavirus, it seems to be affecting multiple systems. So if that's true, you're probably going to need more than one thing. If you can't wipe out the virus, how are you going to address all these different systems? So you end up usually having to do more than one thing, whatever those things may be. So just keep that in the back of your mind. Dr. Ingram, welcome back. Go ahead and complete your thought.
Well, I don't think we really understand this pathogen. There's a dispute of whether it's just a virus or the virus goes stealthily into our bacteria. You know, in Italy, they found a high amount of Chlamydia pneumoniae, which were maybe resident germs that became virulent because of the disease process, and they found those in the autopsy lungs, not so much viruses. Remember, this began. This is why you do have to look at a multiplicity of approaches. This began in a market where they were selling CAFO, right? They were selling 90% of the market was pork flesh. They were selling industrial meat. That industrial meat was heavily vaccinated. And remember, we were told in January that these people got it from eating. So all of a sudden, an eating disease becomes exclusively a respiratory disease. We build a hospital, we spend $53 million thinking we need it, or whatever the thing was, or maybe it was the mafia that did. But it's useless. They treated 79 patients at that facility. The tents they put up, they didn't use. So the whole approach has been askew, has been suspect. To produce medical testing in 2 months, sometimes it takes 10 years to get FDA approval and get it all screened and make sure it works. So I don't think medicine knows where its shoes are on this one. Panic, pandemonium, buying a bunch of respirators from General Motors and stuffing tubes down people's throats. Nobody's saying a word about what you've been talking about is the industrial farms. Nobody's talking about the vaccine industry. Did they make a mistake? Nobody's talking about the fact that Fauci paid with our tax dollars to harvest coronaviruses out of bats at the same time, basically, as this broke out. Well, that's why I say, it's a bit of a conundrum, the whole situation. And to shut down a country, now that doesn't make a lot of sense. The richest and most powerful economy in the world. If this was that bad, you and I, everybody'd be sick, and we'd be struggling, and we'd be taking our oil of oregano, using this spray all the time, and eating a lot of garlic and onion. We'd be doing all kind of stuff. I sent a guy out in the field. He visited 25 stores. He visited 200 people. And somebody, if he comes back, we'll all get sick. I said, just forget it. No, let's deal with it. The guy was fine. Nobody got sick. What a lock, extreme panic and pandemonium. You want to be panicky. If a hurricane comes, you better figure out, if a Category 5 starts to land.
Don't you worry. Here in Florida, we got that together, but we don't have much else together. When you were on last, I got feedback about your protocol. People are interested in that protocol to sort of create an internal terrain within their body that will serve them better than not.
Right.
In other words,
Well, there's two things to do. One is to take killers that so that you don't get sick. Maybe somebody has a fulminant infection. Maybe it's COVID. Maybe it's something else. You're exposed. You don't want to get sick. You might end up with some serious symptom and get panicky and go to the hospital. So there's the killers, but then there's the immune potentiators. The standard stuff we all know about, that we should be eating a lot of citrus. We should be getting our vitamin C, ascorbate. We should be getting our zinc. We should be getting our vitamin A. So, but I would focus on the killers. Right now, I use a lot of this spray. You're going to be spraying it. I spray the back of my throat, here and there. And I spray my body, and I spray, my room. And this is the clove bud, bay leaf, oregano. This is Orega spray. I use a ton of it, okay? I stay safe. And then I use the oil of oregano, this super strength. Furthermore, I take the multiple spice oil. You and I both take this Oregarest.
Yep.
And finally, I take a jagger of the juice of oregano. Like, that's my basic killer protocol, plus my onions, my garlic, my fresh, hot, spicy herb in all the food I can get it in. For potentiating the immune system, right, then you might go for a whole food zinc, which would be so much safer and more effective than high-dose zinc. You can do the high-dose zinc if you want, or just what I use is the Purely Zinc Plus. I put it in my smoothie about 3 or 4 times a week. I get a baseline of zinc. I eat plenty of the grass-fed meat, which is the densest source of zinc. I eat some of that here and there. And then vitamin A, you need that. You've got to have your vitamin A for your immunoglobulins and your vitamin C from citrus. I also take something, I think you're taking something called Purely C, which is from wild camu. I mean, that's kind of like my protocol.
Okay, when we come back, I will repeat all that. I took the notes. There they are. And we'll continue our conversation with Dr. Cass Ingram. We are coast to coast and globally with
Wayne Elliott here to tell you about my experience with Strauss Heart Drops over the past 20 years. The Strauss Heart Drops saved me back then and changed my life forever. It's hard to describe how invigorating it is when you increase your blood flow everywhere. The Heart Drops have proven to dissolve plaque from arteries, veins, and vessels caused from cholesterol that can restrict or block our blood flow, our body's most important function. I was able to avoid open heart surgery, as was my father, and instead cleared our arteries painlessly and without chemical drugs, which, by the way, do not claim to remove any plaque or increase blood flow otherwise. Strauss Heart Drops work, I can assure you. No contraindications with pharma drugs. Strauss Heart Drops are safe, and Strauss guarantees your satisfaction with a money-back guarantee. So you can't go wrong and certainly have nothing to lose. If you've had open heart surgery, angina, diabetes, low energy, cold hands and feet, or grayish-blue skin or lips, Strauss Heart Drops are for you. Available online at powermall.com and straussnaturals.com. I promise you won't be sorry.
Dr. Michael Garka, host of Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. You can get more information about the show on my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com. Michael Garko, and you're listening to Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. If you want to find out more about the show, visit my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com. Dr. Michael Garko, host of Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. You can get more information about the show on my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com. This is Dr. Michael Garko, host of Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. You can get more information about the show on my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com. This is Dr. Michael Garko, and you're listening to Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. If you want to find out more about the show, visit my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com. This is Dr. Michael Garko, and you're listening to Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. If you want to find out more about the show, visit my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com.
Let's Talk Nutrition is brought to you by CV Sciences, from seed to shelf. New chapter, the benefit of nature's wisdom. Jarrow Formulas, superior nutrition and formulation. Form Essentials, makers of the sleep aid Solace. Yerba Prima, pioneers in internal cleansing. Strauss Herbs, everything our bodies need is provided by nature. Let's Talk Nutrition on the web at letstalknutrition.com. We're back from the break, so let's rejoin Dr. Michael Garko.
A pathogen is any infectious agent that has the ability to cause disease in a living system, another organism like you or me. And these infectious agents include, but are not limited to, viruses, bacteria, protozoa, fungi, algae, and prions. And you hear Dr. Ingram talk about them all the time. And just so we're clear, these pathogens have been on the planet since the beginning, for millions of years. And while humans may have become civilized, pathogens don't become kinder or more gentler organisms. In fact, they become more virulent, and they adapt, and they are killers. So you need to go after them with compounds that can kill them, and you need to potentiate your immune system. Dr. Cass Ingram is our guest. Dr. Ingram, that protocol you put together, it's these products are from North American Herb & Spice. Orega spray,
Okay.
oil of oregano, Orega resp, R-E-S-P for respiratory, and juice of oregano. Those are the
That's
killers.
correct.
Then you
Yeah,
have
those are the
whole
killers.
food
that?
zinc, and vitamin A, vitamin C.
Right, right. And the vitamin A would be in the fatty salmon oil, because that would be sort of an unrefined whole food source, which I drink by the tablespoon. I take the liquid and I take the capsules. I make sure that my tissues have the sufficient vitamin A stock, because that's important to make your immunoglobulin that line the mucous membranes. It's Also, by the way, a sign of a taste and smell deficiency. So is the deficiency of zinc, which you're seeing in this. You see, we've mismanaged this crisis. It There's no discussion whatsoever of how people can protect themselves, like build their immunity. How can they quit doing destructive things that could make a person vulnerable to contraction of a pathogen? They have the environment, they have the milieu, they have the terrain that's not in good shape. They don't have a good zinc stores. They don't. Zinc is lost when you refine food. You lose 90%. When you raise food, the soil is already deficit, tremendously depleted in this mineral. So we're gone. Then if we drink alcohol, we're gone. You eat refined sugar, it's gone. You have a high stress environment, gone. So for some reason, this disease process seems to deplete the zinc even further. They get the loss of the sense of smell and taste, which are
Mm.
zinc dependent.
So
So
at North American, the zinc is found in Purely Zinc Plus. That's the name of the product. Yes.
that's what I take. I take
Right.
it because it's whole food from pumpkin seeds. I'm not. A, see, you got to understand. If you go zinc, you go out and you get 50 milligrams, you'll become copper deficient. Zinc and copper are like automatic. If you take too much copper, you lose your zinc. If you take too much zinc, you lose your copper.
Uh,
It's a
See,
fine tune.
let me just stop you right there. I'm just going to tell the audience that what Dr. Ingram just said. You know how many times I've heard that in my courses, and I have some great professors all the time. Hear it all the
Yeah.
time. So I'm just telling you, pay attention to what he says. He's on point. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's just the body is a fine-tuned mechanism. If you start abusing it, then you might end up with this disease process, double pneumonia, respirator, draconian efforts, heroics, and drop dead. Uh, where you could be eating tremendous amounts of sugar and not paying attention to donuts and ice cream. And I found in my assessment of the 20 COVID patients or pseudo COVID, most of them were sugar free. Right?
Mm,
They were pounding that stuff, and they were eating the pork flesh. They were white flour plus sugar like a donut or a sweet roll. You start you start messing up your environment. Okay, so you get sick. You start not messing up your environment. And how many people that go to the health food store ended up with this disease is almost non-existent. And the people who are proactive,
and
like
these
I said,
basic,
spiritual
you know,
war.
I know that people are out there in the world, they're looking for these exotic, I don't know what, ways to try and create uh, a better defense, have an internal terrain that's homeostatic or in balance. And what Dr. Ingram is telling you, these are, I'm just telling you, it's the rudiments of nutrition, the rudiments of some of the basic principles of science, uh, plus a lot of knowledge over hundreds, if not thousands of years on how people figured it out on their own, right? So it's
It is.
really a mix of ideas and evidence that come together in what he's talking about. And that's why
And
he's on the show.
there's a fair amount of just common sense nutrition involved here. Like, okay, I take my Purely C, I take my Polar Power and my Purely Zinc Plus, so I can get the baseline, and I eat plenty of citrus. I might guzzle a whole quart of grapefruit juice in a day or two. I get plenty of ascorbate because you'll lose them. I get plenty of vitamin A from a food form because it will be depleted. Did you know that if you stand in one place for 6 hours, like you're on a counter, you're a jeweler or something, you lose as much as 80% of your circulating vitamin A just from the stress of the body having to deal with that sort of cortisone-like vitamin dealing with your work. So if you're a hard laborer, so think about the strong, hard laborer, the marathon runner that we had that nearly died. People are not getting their secretory IgA, so they get a colonization, because secretory IgA is vitamin A dependent. So they get exposed to a pathogen. They can't mark the germ, what IgA does. It marks it, and the T cells and the white cells come to get it. You're not getting enough circulating ascorbic acid. You're not making a conscious effort to eat your citrus. Florida? So simple, but we don't hear a word, except on this program you're hearing it.
I can tell you, as God is my judge, just yesterday, in my functional medicine nutrition course, we look at laboratory evaluations. Sec IgA, that's measured. That's an evaluation that's done, and it can tell you if the person is under a lot of stress. Again, Dr. Ingram is right on point. I smiled. I got the video here. People were watching me. When you said that, I smiled, and I'm thinking, my God, he should be teaching the course. And you are listening to Dr. Cass Ingram today. God, you have no idea. It's a relief for me to have someone such as Dr. Ingram on the show. He is impeccably correct in what he's telling you. Pay attention. I do. We'll be right back.
Are you concerned with the change of seasons? Are you looking for a product to support a healthy immune system? Then you must be looking for Oreganol P73, made by North American Herb & Spice, who are a leader in the manufacturing of natural dietary supplements. Oreganol P73 is not your normal oregano. No, Oreganol P73 is made from oregano that grows wild at 10,000 feet above sea level in the mountains of the Mediterranean. That's why it's such a powerful support for your immune system. Try Oreganol P73 today and discover what millions already know during this winter season. To learn more about Oreganol P73, visit your local health food store or our website, oreganol.com. That's oregano.com. Act now and feel better today with Oreganol P73.
Have you experienced the wisdom of nature with Zyflamend Whole Body from New Chapter? Zyflamend is a 10-herb blend that delivers 3 health benefits. First, Zyflamend is an herbal approach to pain relief, helping to soothe minor pain or soreness. Second, Zyflamend is a joint supplement with time-tested herbs to support joint function and flexibility. And the third benefit, Zyflamend supports the body's healthy inflammation response, something that's essential for maintaining whole body health. Zyflamend is New Chapter's clinically tested blend of 10 remarkable herbs, including pure and potent turmeric, ginger, and green tea. Zyflamend is non-GMO, project verified, gluten-free, and 100% vegetarian. New Chapter is a leader in supplement quality. Every ingredient, every product, every time. Discover Zyflamend, New Chapter's #1 selling multi-herbal. Zyflamend is made with ginger for occasional pain relief after exercise. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
The latest trend to hit the store shelves has the whole country buzzing. Cannabidiol, or CBD, might just be the greatest discovery of our generation, and it comes from a plant that is not so new, agricultural hemp. Yes, after 70 years of prohibition and misunderstanding, hemp is back to help you stay healthy and balanced. Growing research is showing that we have a lot to learn from the remarkable hemp plant. Nutrient-rich products like Plus CBD Oil's Total Plant Complex concentrated products provide broad-spectrum nutrition, including fatty acids, plant sterols, cannabinoids, terpenes, and naturally occurring vitamin E. From seed to shelf, all Plus CBD Oil products provide the highest quality hemp-derived CBD products available and are offered in a variety of delivery systems and flavors to suit your needs. Ask your local independent health food store about Plus CBD Oil products by CV Sciences today and learn more about the CBD evolution at pluscbdoil.com. That's pluscbdoil.com.
If you want to find out more about the show, visit my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com. Michael Garca, host of Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. You can get more information about the show on my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com. This is Dr. Michael Garco, and you're listening to Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. If you want to find out more about the show, visit my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com.
Let's Talk Nutrition is brought to you by Jarrow Formulas, superior nutrition and formulation. Strauss Herbs, everything our bodies need is provided by nature. Kyolic, aging makes the finest garlic truly odorless. Celsius, live fit. Irwin Naturals, premium vitamins and supplements. 25 years of gold standard supplements. Let's Talk Nutrition on the web at letstalknutrition.com. We're back from the break, so let's rejoin Dr. Michael Garco.
Welcome back. Welcome to Let's Talk Nutrition. Thanks for tuning in. Just a program reminder. Tomorrow, Dr. Michael Ruta Dayuria will be on the show. Dr. Mike is a functional medicine doctor, practices functional nutrition. You need to tune into that show like you tuned into this one today with Dr. Ingram. I'm just going to say this to the audience. Been doing this a long time, and I've seen, a lot of people with a lot of different credentials. And on this show is evidence-based, and it is about the science, but I also am open and embrace what we've learned from cultures over hundreds, if not thousands of years. Dr. Ingram is one of those rare birds where he has both. He understands the science, he understands the medicine and medical science generally too, but he also understands how people have been able to survive in different cultures when there were no walk-in clinics, no drugs, no physicians that we know of in this traditional sense, and they figured it out. And he takes that knowledge too. So it's a unique blend. That's why he was on the show. When he's on the show, I ask you to listen attentively to what he has to say. And I check his work as I check everybody's work. He just said something that probably slipped by most people. He said, well, you got Secretary IgA, and he went on. We use that in clinical evaluations to see if the person's under stress. He's the only guest that's ever even mentioned that. Okay? So that's all I'm saying to you. That's why I love having him on. Dr. Ingram, that protocol that you put together, Orega spray, oil of oregano, Oregaresp, R-E-S-P, juice of oregano, that's the killers, then Polar Power, Purely Zinc Plus, and Purely C. All of these products are from North American Herb and Spice. Go to their website. Of course, they're sold in fine health stores throughout the United States and those that are trying to be fine. I don't need I don't need to ingratiate myself with you. I'm just going to tell you. It really does bring a smile to my face when I hear you talk and you say these things and you say them quickly. And I know it takes years of knowledge and know-how, to mention. You're the only guest in 15 years that ever mentioned SEC-IGA. The only one.
It's astounding. We really do, like you said, have to have an evidence-based approach to these. That's why we've talked about this particular disease, what sense to make of it, what incense to do with it. And and I tell you, what's frustrating, I suppose, is that the federal officials, they completely understand the situation. The CDC, FDA, USDA, WHO, they've all tested oregano oil and spice extracts. They've all challenged the data against studies. In fact, the FDA said through its agents, we're going to prove that the use of spices of any kind, oregano oil especially, is, quote, a useless endeavor, end of quote. Dr. F. Andron at the USDA or at the FDA study process, University of Tennessee, Knoxville, $450,000 in U.S. taxpayer money. He ended up publishing an article saying, look, you got to follow the money on all this. That we should turn oregano oil into a pharmaceutical is just way too effective. That was published in that journal.
Yeah,
But,
what he tried to do was discredit these compounds, these natural cures, if you will,
Right.
and whatnot, and it backfired on him.
Backfired on her. And what she attempted to do also was to scandalize it, like you said. They wanted to go out and say that this discussion of oregano oil and spices is wrong. Now, the WHO, when they had a crisis, they took the oil of oregano, the spray, and basically the Oregarest, they took it to China. And they had 100% success with their practitioners. The USDA has published studies on oregano oil as a germ killer for food poisoning pathogens. You know, the USDA food. I mean, I don't. Whoop! What's happening here, folks? You know the answer. You can't just rely on me to get the word out. You talked about hydroxychloroquine, or you allowed that out. Zinc was discussed. Why not talk a little bit about oregano oil? Who are you afraid of? You're afraid of your shadow? You're afraid of me? Or I'm not going to make any money on it. Right?
Well,
so there's 70 companies that
these are you always you talk about natural cures, natural medicines. A number of your books sort of has that theme runs throughout your writings. How can people get access to this new updated really compendium of ideas that you have?
CazIngram.com. You go there. There's not a lot of links to products. Don't worry if you're worried about commercialism. Just go to CazIngram.com and you'll see the book, The Doctor's Guide to Oil of Oregano, The Cures in the Cupboard, The Health Benefits of Wild Oregano, The COVID-19 Remedy. And you'll see some scriptural stuff. I'm putting up some scriptural stuff for free downloads. One of them is now the Quran. Now I'll have up the Gospels, the original Gospels, so that we can look at what the Godhead says about herbs and plants. It's not much, but he just isn't that way. He's not going to tell you take 5 drops of oil of oregano twice a day. But, make sure you eat your garlic now.
There's irony that runs all over the place. In this one course that I have, it's called Functional Medicine Nutrition. The name of the professor, I'm not making this up. He's famous. His name is Lord. His last name is Lord. Dr. Richard Lord.
Dr. Lord, yeah. Is he English or something?
I don't know what he is, but he's really. I have learned so much from him in this course about laboratory evaluations. It's just remarkable.
I should mention,
but his last name is Lord. I refer to him as the Lord.
Yeah, well, got some Lord in him. Is that raw honey is beneficial to the immune system? So that there are many substance matters that you and your family could be taking, and you wouldn't get sick, at least not from seasonal illness, right? And but yeah, I thought that was curious that CDC, FDA, USDA, WHO all know about my work or whatever, and that they've attempted to profit off of that because USDA has a patent. CDC, I don't think they are. WHO, of course, they're not interested in the profiting. But,
well, you have a platform here as always, and you're all the time. We love you on here. and so does the audience. Dr. Cass Ingram, North American Urban Spice. We'll be back in the second hour. Thank you.
Wayne Elliott here to tell you about my experience with Strauss Heart Drops over the past 20 years. The Strauss Heart Drops saved me back then and changed my life forever. It's hard to describe how invigorating it is when you increase your blood flow everywhere. The Heart Drops have proven to dissolve plaque from arteries, veins, and vessels caused from cholesterol that can restrict or block our blood flow, our body's most important function. I was able to avoid open heart surgery, as was my father, and instead cleared our arteries painlessly and without chemical drugs, which, by the way, do not claim to remove any plaque or increase blood flow otherwise. Strauss Heart Drops work, I can assure you. No contraindications with pharma drugs. Strauss Heart Drops are safe, and Strauss guarantees your satisfaction with a money-back guarantee. So you can't go wrong and certainly have nothing to lose. If you've had open heart surgery, angina, diabetes, low energy, cold hands and feet, or grayish-blue skin or lips, Strauss Heart Drops are for you. Available online at powermall.com and straussnaturals.com. I promise you won't be sorry.
This is Dr. Michael Garko from Let's Talk Nutrition. Tired of not having enough energy to exercise and be physically active? OptiNos from Earth's creation can help recharge your body, energy it needs to live a physically active lifestyle. OptiNos does three things to help energize. First, it increases nitric oxide, which means more oxygen and nutrients flowing to your cells. Second, OptiNos helps create ATP, the body's energy. Third, OptiNos reduces lactic acid buildup, which causes exercise-associated muscle soreness. So turn on your body's energy switch, OptiNos, and start living a physically active lifestyle. Get OptiNos at ecsportsusa.com. That's ecsportsusa.com. For a limited time, use promo code EC and get $10 off your first order. Promo code EC. The sooner you use OptiNos, the sooner you will feel better about yourself and your body.
The proceeding was a commercial program.
This is Dr. Michael Garko, host of Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. You can get more information about the show on my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com. This is Dr. Michael Garko, and you're listening to Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. If you want to find out more about the show, visit my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com. This is Dr. Michael Garko, host of Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. You can get more information about the show on my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com. This is Dr. Michael Garko, host of Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. You can get more information about the show on my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com. Dr. Michael Garko, and you're listening to Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. If you want to find out more about the show, visit my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com. This is Dr. Michael Garko, and you're listening to Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. If you want to find out more about the show, visit my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com. Dr. Michael Garko, host of Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. You can get more information about the show on my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com. This is Dr. Michael Garko, and you're listening to Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. If you want to find out more about the show, visit my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com. This is Dr. Michael Garko, host of Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. You can get more information about the show on my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com. This is Dr. Michael Garko, host of Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. You can get more information about the show on my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com. This is Dr. Michael Garko, and you're listening to Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. If you want to find out more about the show, visit my website at letstalknutrition.
Statements made during this broadcast regarding products or the claims made about specific products have not been evaluated by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. Products and treatments discussed are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent disease. Make your physician aware of all nutritional supplements used and immediately notify your physician if you have any health concern or undiagnosed sign or symptom. Let's Talk Nutrition is a health talk show that features scientists, authors, nutrition specialists, personal trainers, holistic healers, and experts in traditional, natural, and integrative medicine. Listen for a chance to win daily prizes and follow Let's Talk Nutrition on Facebook and Instagram at Let's Talk Nutrition or on Twitter at LTN Radio. It's time for some inspiration. Tune in to get fit and healthy. It's time to talk about nutrition. Nutrition for your body, your mind, your spirit. It's time to talk about proper exercise, stress relief, eating well, and supplementation to help. Get ready to take charge of your health because your health is your wealth and the wealth of those who care about and love you. It's time for Let's Talk Nutrition with Dr. Michael Garko. Welcome to the show.
And welcome to the Let's Talk Nutrition. Thanks for tuning in today. Hope you're having a good day wherever and however you may be listening or watching the show and whatever you may be doing.